Hello, Salemites. Welcome to your daily dose of days. This is an update, a recap, some information about Monday, April 17th, and what was happening on days. Okay, on Monday, today we started off with Marlena going back to work. John didn't want her to, but she's going anyway. So Alex comes and sees her, and he ends up getting sessions with her a little later in the show, but he does sit and talk with her about what happened with Stephanie, and she said he thinks that if they find Kayla, that Stephanie will give him another chance, since he actually didn't cause her to miss speaking to her mother before she died. So that's not gonna work, Alex. Sorry. Meanwhile, in Grece, they all have realized that something might be wrong with Patch. Stephanie and Chad arrive there, but somebody's watching them. Who's watching them? They're watching them in the hotel. They're watching them when they go to check out this warehouse that Victor owns. Somebody's watching them. I'm wondering who's watching them. At first, I thought it was Bo, but it's not. It's either Rolf or possibly Kate, and maybe she's confused or something. I don't know who could possibly be watching them. Anyway, Hope and Harris are together, and they're getting worried about Patch, and Hope gets a text from him saying that he's with Stephanie, and she's upset about her mom, and he's fine. But then Stephanie and Chad show up at Hope's door. And Stephanie's like, I haven't seen my dad. We're worried about him. We can't find him. So then they realize something has happened to Patch. Of course, Bo has Patch and Kayla. He goes fishing, fixes on some fish soup, and Patch throws the soup on him. So they ensue in a struggle. Bo ends up whipping out his gun and threatening to shoot Patch, but Patch says no. But the gun goes off. Kayla is screaming, and it looks like blood splatters on Bo's face. When they come back from a commercial, we find out that Bo just blew up a bottle of red wine. So that was wine on his face. Whew. I was thinking, dude, man, I know you've gone rogue here, but come on now. Bo was having an identity crisis, as you can imagine. Meagan and Kristen, they meet in jail. Woohoo. Kristen's going off because Brady won't take her phone calls, and she's slamming the phone, and this voice behind her says, "Hey, calm down, sister." And Kristen said something like, she'll do what she wants. And she said, "And you're not my sister." And Meagan said, "Well, actually I am." And Kristen turned around, and they met each other for the first time they've ever met. Meagan was assumed dead and out of action by the time Kristen first came to Salem. So Meagan never knew any of her brothers and sisters. I think this will be interesting if they leave her in Salem and let her, get to know her family. Even though she's in jail for some crazy crap anyway. She gets Meagan to confide some stuff in her. They decide they can be sisters in crime, and they're telling what they're going to come out. I think they're going to try to break out of jail. That's what I'm thinking, because they mentioned something about getting out of here. And she told Kristen that she told them that Thomas had kidnapped Kayla to get there to that jail, and she said, but no, he didn't. Kristen's like, well, who really kidnapped her? And she wouldn't tell her. She said, well, you can just trust me. She said, well, someone that I care very much about. She said, we only cared about Father and Bo, and they're both dead. And she said, yes, and I was fried in a big pool of acid, but here I sat. And Kristen's like, are you saying Bo's alive? And she said, I'm not saying anything. But Kristen figured it out. As soon as they quit talking, Kristen gets on the phone to Brady, who finally answers the phone. And she's spilling her guts, from what I believe, but we didn't get to see that part. Okay, so they wrapped up the show with somebody's knocking. No, Bo's getting ready to go out his door. He opens his door, and who's standing in the doorway? Harris. Because Harris, Stephanie, and Chad and Hope all split up to go check out Victor's property in Grece. And they were going to knock them off one at a time, check them off. So, who's following Chad and Stephanie? And when's Bo going to snap out of it, man? Everybody's going to find him. Is he going to hold everybody hostage? And that's a wrap for Monday, April the 17th. I'll see you on Salem. Subscribe if you have not.